let's get into a little free agency recap here. Take a look at some of the players that are coming on in to the Bay Area to play for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll start things off with some of the older signings. Jerick McKinnon, and when I say older, I mean in chronology's sake, not necessarily age. So it's a 4-year, $30 million deal for Jerick McKinnon, and McKinnon's yards per carry does leave some to be desired, but he's actually a really capable pass catcher. So you look at the past couple of years, caught 43 passes in 2016, 51 in 2017. This past year, he averaged a career-high 8.3 yards per reception. There is a reason Kyle Shanahan wanted this guy so badly and went into that bidding war with the New York Jets like I talked about. So I think he'll be a really nice piece to that running back committee with Breida and Joe Williams. I think the 49ers will be just fine behind a Jimmy Garoppolo in that running back core. All right, so let's get to Weston Richburg. We've talked about it so many times on this program. The interior of that offensive line is crucial to the success of this team. Richburg is one of the better offensive linemen out there when he is healthy. He just played a season where he only saw 4 games with the Giants because of a concussion. He's just 26 years old, though, so plenty of room to grow here. Pro Football Focus graded him at 71.3. Don't put much stock into that one, folks, because he played in 4 games, kind of a small sample size. So with Richburg there at center, now the 49ers have to address the guard position, and we're going to talk a little bit about that throughout the coming weeks here. Maybe the 49ers see Quentin Nelson come to them at number 9 via the draft. Maybe there's somebody out there in free agency that the 49ers bring in as well. I'll talk about a guard coming up in a little bit here. But Weston Richburg, he's locked in as the center, especially with Daniel Kilgore moving on out to Miami. All right, here he is, Richard Sherman, 3-year deal. He could earn up to $39.15 million. It's essentially a prove-it deal, although Sherman does get essentially $5 million of guaranteed money. But it is a prove-it contract, and it's kind of unprecedented for a guy of his caliber. You don't see that very often, but when a player's coming off an Achilles injury, kind of a roll of the dice for a team to sign a player with a lot of guaranteed money. So it's not all that surprising, but Richard Sherman, opposite of Akello Witherspoon. You got K'Wan Williams at the slot. Really a fantastic scenario there in that secondary. A young secondary that's going to get better and better and better as we go through the offseason workouts once they come to us. So there's Richard Sherman. Let's check in with Jonathan Cooper, one of the more recent signings here. It's a 1-year deal for Cooper. Started 27 games in his 4 seasons. Started a good amount of games last year for the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper was a 2013 first-round pick of the Arizona Cardinals. And I've mentioned it, big need at guard. Could Cooper challenge Joshua Garnett, maybe Laken Tomlinson, for a starting guard position? Garnett missed all of 2017, and Tomlinson just wasn't very good last year. So Cooper could see an opportunity to be a starting guard for the San Francisco 49ers. John Lynch said that he will certainly be competing for a starting slot. All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Jeremiah Attaochu, it's a 1-year deal for him, and the 49ers, we know how they need pass rushing ability. You have Solomon Thomas, who's going to be working on it over the offseason. He's talked about it. But Attaochu would be an interesting one here. So he had 6 sacks with the Chargers in 2015, has been somewhat ineffective since then. Attaochu played in just 4 games last year, was a healthy scratch for 12 of them. So the Chargers had a really good pass rush last year. So maybe this really isn't a knock on Attaochu. Maybe it's just more of Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa balling out. There really wasn't a need for this guy to be on the football field. So he's somewhat unproven, and it will be interesting to see how he performs during OTAs and training camp, and maybe he becomes a big part of that defense in 2018. All right, and then finally, because punters are people too, Jeff Locke is now a member of the 49ers, and he's 28 years old, 2013 5th-round pick, left-footed booter as well, coming off a season where he ranked 7th in the NFL in punts inside the 20-yard line and 11th in net average. Locke will be in competition with last year's punter Bradley Pinion, so we'll see who wins in that one, but Locke is now a member of the 49ers. So to summarize the free agency signings here, Jerick McKinnon, Weston Richburg, Richard Sherman, 3 headliners right there. You got guard Jonathan Cooper, Jeremiah Attaochu, and then Jeff Locke, the punter, formerly of the Colts, Minnesota Vikings. He's jumped around a few times. All right, folks, this has been the 49ers Report. I am Cam Rogers. Check me out on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99. I'll see you next time.